Welcome back to the Barnsley Metrodome for more action from Weber Cup 13, and at the moment USA just can't seem to capitalise on their chances to move ahead of Europe by more than 2, and once again Europe have reduced the deficit to just a single point. Mika Koivuniemi then up against Mike Fagan next. The Moose looking to go on the charge. Fagan looking to maybe pick a European pocket or two. So last couple of handshakes before the rest of the team leaves the stage. And have you been surprised by the way some of these games have gone?
I was certainly surprised by the way the last game went, yes. There's been some great scores. There's been 1 or 2 dubious spare misses, but all in all, it's pretty exciting. There's only 1 point in it, and this too could be a very, very close game. Number 1 player and number 2 ranked player on the World Tour at this particular time.
Solid enough start from Mike Fagan, a little bit high on the headpin.
Simon, it's a freshly dressed lane, and this is why Mike Fagan's playing a lot straighter down that second arrow line. Gets to the break point at about 42 feet and turns up and trips that lazy 4-pin for the first strike in frame number 1. These two players have met earlier in singles when Mika scored 195 to Fagan's 193, so it was an early victory for the Finn and the European squad.
Well, Cass Edwards has been saying right from the start of this year's event that Mika Koivuniemi has a big score in him, and there are some of the Moose Patrol who come out to support Mika, getting their first chance to show the antlers.
Yes, you get Mika on a lane condition that suits his style, that lofted delivery. And yeah, once he starts making the pocket and carries everything, you know, you can be looking at 270, 280. I'm not going to predict that, but I know that he has got big games in him.
Now Mike Fagan, USBC Masters champion. Huge fan of Amoletto Monicelli, one of the international players that first forged a career in the PBA. Amoletto still around, still bowling to a good standard and had some success in the seniors tour. But you can see some similarities in the style, in the finesse side of the game with Fagan and Monicelli.
Oh, and absolutely on the very, very high backswing as well. I might call the king of swing, but Amoletto Monicelli also had that very, very high backswing right above his head.
Tommy Jones there getting a bit of counselling, I think, from Bill O'Neill. Don't worry, man, I've been there. Yeah, Jones missing that final shot in his singles game against Osku, which would have given Team USA a 9-6 lead. Missing out by 1 pin. Will that come back to haunt Team USA? Hey, there we go. There's a different way of getting a strike.
It's not very often you see the 2-pin being hit from behind and falling for a strike. It certainly was a Moose special, wasn't it? Outrageous is the word that comes to mind. Just gets a fraction outside his mark, as you can see. It's very, very light on the headpin. That's the 2-pin standing, but bashed from behind by a couple of pins. And that too is 2 strikes in a row, so we're all square after 2.
Fagan looking for a turkey. Takes it out in style. That was the most convincing strike we've seen so far in this match.
It looks kind of ominous, doesn't it, Simon? Fagan's locked in. Mika's had one lucky one. There's no reason why this is going to change, and it could go on and on and on.
Yeah, I think Fagan, I love watching Fagan bowl. He's just one of those players that is effortless when he's found that strike line. And I think that's what worries you. There doesn't look to be a tremendous amount of hard work going on to demolish the deck.
He's had a great season over in Europe, in the close season from the PBA in the States. He's come over and he's won a couple of events. We saw him actually have a massive win in Paris, didn't we, at the Brunswick Euro Challenge. And he's gone on since then and racked up world ranking points closely behind this man.
Yeah, Koivuniemi clearly has to think about a slight change here. Again, outside his mark, and this time doesn't get the luck.
Yes, almost an identical ball. As you say, you would have thought he'd have made a slight adjustment. That ball has carried on. It didn't quite turn to the pocket. And again, he's left the 2-pin, fortunate to kick out the 10-pin block, and that's well wide. Just makes the head pin. Could have been the 2, the 8 and the 10. And it's fortunate just to leave that 1 pin standing.
So first time we've seen the spare ball in this match. It's Mika Koivuniemi for Team Europe that has to bring it out. Mike Fagan will step up next, working 3 strikes, looking for a 4-bagger.
Yes, well, Mika's given up the chase for the maximum with that last shot, but Fagan's still in the hunt.
Fagan a little further left on the lane than Mika is, but still a relatively straight ball.
Well, let's hope that the condition, as I was saying, it is a freshly dressed lane, that the condition holds up under these very bright television lights, at least till the end of the game. That's the massive high backswing that's characteristic of the king of swing, Mike Fagan. It's perfectly placed. It's a perfect rotation right into the pocket and carries all 10. It's a great shot.
Yeah, that was pretty much textbook from Fagan. Here's the man with the pressure again. And just takes a tiny movement to his right-hand side, dumps it down the lane a bit further on that loft, and this time leaves a 7.
Yes, he looks a little bit bemused. He didn't get the carry on the last couple of frames. But all in all, they weren't the greatest shots in the world, and he has to be reasonably happy. He's only just got a single pin spare. He falls further behind. But he has to stay in this game. He has to stay close, because it's only going to take 1 error from Fagan. And Mika will hopefully still be there to take advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to look further back than the last singles match to see that perseverance could still win you a match.
Well, I don't think he's talking to you or I, but and there's no one on the stage listening to him, so he must be talking to himself.
Great start from Fagan. 4 straight strikes, still on for the perfect game.
And it's still on for the perfect game, Simon. Fabulous looking shot, goes 5 strikes in a row. He's got a look of concentration on his face. The strike ball looks absolutely fabulous, and as long as he can keep hitting that pocket and getting the carry, this could be one exciting game to watch.
Koivuniemi just has to sort out what he wants to do and where he wants to be. Now, it looks to me like a ball change here for Mika.
He's gone to the pretty purple one.
It worked.
He certainly gets the result with it. Yes, it was a much better shot, a lot cleaner, and carried all 10. He made the pocket very nicely. So let's hope the change is going to work for him and he can stay with it and stay in this game. It's all about getting the pace right and the rotation right, hitting the right part of the lane before the ball snaps back. And that was just absolutely classic. Great looking shot, great looking strike from Mika Koivuniemi.
Specialist bowling shoes that the players wear. And that lead shoe just has a surface on the sole that allows them to slide to the foul line, all part of the delivery. Although Fagan pulls out of it on this occasion, and you'll see the guys, because they don't want to keep taking the shoes on and off, you'll see them actually walking around the centre with a cover on the lead foot shoe to keep it protected. Yes,
it's an overshoe to protect the sliding sole, which is basically sort of a chamois leather type material.
Fagan then looking for 6 and gets 6. Yeah, the overshoe's not what you call a fashion accessory, but it's an important part of a tournament player.
It wouldn't keep your shoe dry if there was any flooding locally, but it tends to keep the grease and dirt on the floor from getting on the slide pile of the shoe.
Great start from Fagan then. 6-pack to get things underway, and we have not seen many 6-packs, if any, at this tournament so far, except in the Baker. Koivuniemi still on for a respectable 268, and the ball change has worked for him. He's found a double.
This is how these guys amass the high scores. When the lane actually changes or they're having a bit of bad fortune, make the change, look for something different, and really hope it works. And in this case, it has done.
Mika Koivuniemi is already chasing the so far perfect Mike Fagan. More Weber Cup action after the break.